Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to reading. So today we are going to be focusing on inferencing strategies. Today's learning objective is I can make an inference and use evidence to support it. Interesting. Well, let's first start off with what is inferencing? Boys and girls, have you ever heard of this before? Making an inference? Conclusion? No? Maybe? All right, well, I'm going to tell you what inference actually means. And we use this a lot in 3rd grade and 4th grade and 5th grade and so on. So it's important to understand that we need to learn this skill in order to be better readers. So the definition of inference is the process of making an educated guess about a text based on the clues it provides and our understanding of the world. So another way of saying this is basically for inferencing, we have to be detectives in the reading world because let's be honest, we probably have read some passages that we sometimes don't quite understand where to find some answers and what the author's trying to tell us. That's because authors don't always tell you exactly what they want you to know. We have to be detectives and figure out on our own what is it that the author is trying to tell us. So with that being said, that's what inferencing is basically using this skill to decipher what is the hidden message behind the words that are given within every passage. And we are going to be practicing this skill with a picture to help us start off. Okay, boys and girls. So you are going to take a moment and pause this video, and you are going to be looking at this picture. Really look at it. Here are some questions that are here to help you. So the questions are, what time of the year could this photo be taken in? What is the weather like? Why? Let me move my screen here. What do you think the man is doing? Why does he look sad? And where is the man? Where do you think he is? So based on looking at the picture, okay, focus on the picture, look at every detail of this picture and see what kind of educated guesses that you can come up with. Please pause this video for you to fully understand what you need to do. All right, class. So I hope that you had a wonderful discussion with your teacher. So we are going to go ahead and based on everything that you have done with inferencing, that is exactly what you need to do when we are doing reading passages. And also not only with reading passages, but also with poems. Yes, today I am going to be reading you a poem and using inferencing skills to find out the meaning of what this poem is trying to tell us. Okay, boys and girls, so this is the poem that you are going to be watching me model how to use an inferencing skill. So we're going to be using the poem, "The World is an Open Book." And on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that I have made a T-chart. So on the left-hand side of the chart, you have the context clues. So I'm going to be taking words from the poem and going to be writing those clues on that side of the screen. But as you see on the right side, you have my inferencing thoughts. So I'm going to be writing down my thoughts based on the clues that are given in this poem. So let me go ahead and get these tools ready so that I can do this properly. Next, here we go. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and first I'm going to read the title using my text features from yesterday, because remember, when we use our text features first before we read, it will help us fully understand what it is that we need to understand from the readings. So I'm going to start with the title. Let me move this. Okay. The world is an open book. Ooh, that's a good context clue. I'm going to go ahead and write that just right here. The world is. I want to make sure that this stays kind of on this side. All right, so that's my context clue right there. The world is an open book. Okay, so just based off the title, the world is an open book. Well, when I open a book, whenever I read, it usually takes me to a different world. So when I'm reading Harry Potter, obviously Harry Potter is not real, but it's taking me into a different world. So I wonder if that's kind of a connection. So I'm going to go ahead and write my thoughts right here. Am I going to be traveling into a new world in this poem? So writing my thoughts and my questions, really thinking, what could this poem actually mean? So that is what inferencing skill is using background knowledge and educated guesses based on the words that are right in front of us. And remember, authors like to be tricky, and so we have to be the detectives to try and figure out what is it that they're really trying to say. All right, let's look at some other context clues. Oh wait, no, not context clues yet. Let's still work with our text features. Okay, well, I'm looking at this picture, and I'm seeing a picture of a young girl, and she has a book that's open. And it looks like that she is reading, and if I can see the pictures, it looks like that there is like a sled with a little, like 2 people parachuting or something. And then there is a cat that has a book open, and looks like the cat is reading a book with a lion in it. So based off of that, it looks like they're traveling into different types of worlds or informational books. I'm not quite sure. But I do also see that there's a globe at the side of the picture, so interesting. All right, well, now that I use my text features, now I'm going to go actually read the poem and use context clues from the poem to help me figure out what is it that this poem is trying to tell us. So let's go ahead. A book is the world made small. Ooh, that kind of confirms what I was coming up with my inferencing thoughts. Maybe. Let's keep reading. So that even indoors on a rainy day, you can travel around it twice each way. Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and write this. All right. So you can travel. You can travel around. You can travel around. So basically, it's telling me that books open the world to us. That we can learn about the world from books. Oh, that's so cool. All right, so I'm going to write that in there. And understand the world from books. What? That's so cool. All right, let's continue. You can travel around it twice each way and never get wet at all. Okay, so basically, from this context clues, it is kind of a short poem, but boys and girls, you can see how I am thinking outside of the box just based on the little words that are given to us in this poem. So just from reading this poem and looking and reading the words, my inferencing thoughts basically tell us that the world is an open book because when you read books, it takes you to a different place, which allows you to let your imagination grow or to let your brain grow so you can learn more about the world around us, even when it's a rainy day outside. Because I'm also noticing now in the background that the little girl and the cat behind them, it's a window and there is raindrops falling. So that's where the rain comes in. Oh, I get it now. All right, boys and girls, you see how I am really thinking out loud about using all these clues to help come up with the conclusion of what this poem means? So now, with your teacher, what kind of text, what is the author's purpose for this poem? What do you think? Is it to persuade, to inform, or entertain? So why don't you have that conversation with your teacher or with your classmates in Schoology? So boys and girls, today you are just focusing on watching me model what inferencing is, because you have already practiced what inferencing skills are with the picture provided by your teacher. So, but if you haven't done that already, make sure you do that now so that you can get more practice out of it. So that is all for today, boys and girls, and I hope you had a fabulous time with me, as I know I did. So I will talk to you next time. Bye!